Explore Jackie O's mansion in Martha's Vineyard that sold for $65 million. 2.5 decades after the death of one of America's most beloved first ladies, her former home in Martha's Vineyard has sold for $65 million. Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis's luxury estate sits on an island south of Cape Cod. It's a tourist attraction known for its affluence, as many wealthy New Englanders have vacationed there for centuries. Jackie was one of the few year-rounders on the island, which is primarily a summer vacation spot. The incredible space includes 340 acres of land and 6,456 square feet of living space. Let's take a look around the estate and explore some interesting facts about the land it inhabits. The impressive home is so giant that it has its own name. The 340-acre land is called Red Gate Farm, though it certainly is far from traditional farmland. However, the place had previously been a sheep farm. The house was built by famous architect Hugh Newell Jacobson in 1981, along with a 2-story guest house. Prior to these additions, the only living space on the property was a small hunting cabin. Jackie's daughter, Caroline Kennedy, hired the Dean of Yale School of Architecture to redesign and expand the main home in the year 2000. With about 6,500 square feet, it may be surprising to find out that there are only 5 bedrooms in the home. The summer estate housed Jackie and her children and grandchildren when they cared for an escape. She bought the land in 1979, more than a decade after her second and final husband, Aristotle Socrates Onassis, died. Their marriage had taken place on a private Greek island, which may have spurred Jackie's connection to solitary island homes like this one. The large grassy backyard would be perfect for family gatherings of any size. Inside this primary home are a formal sitting room with a fireplace, a living and a family room, a drawing room, and a chef's kitchen with top-scale appliances. That's just the main floor. Upstairs, you have 4 bedrooms, each with their own bathroom. In addition, there's the master bedroom, complete with a dressing room and a master ensuite. The home includes a den, 2 office studios, 2 powder rooms, 3 fireplaces, a laundry room, and a basement. The home boasts gorgeous views like this one, which utilizes a mixture of colors and patterns illuminated by the brilliant natural lighting. Large windows enable occupants to experience their gorgeous surroundings from the inside. Superior style is one of the elements that made Jackie such an adored first lady. When her former husband, John F. Kennedy, was elected in 1960, Jackie hired fashion designer Oleg Cassini to build her first lady wardrobe. Newsweek reports that she spent nearly $150,000 on her fashion items in 1961, well over her husband's salary as president. A large pool enables homeowners to enjoy the water all year round. There are also 2 freshwater ponds on site, so occupants have a variety of bodies of water to enjoy in multiple ways. Traveling to Martha's Vineyard requires taking one of several ferries in New England, including the ferry at Woods Hole, Massachusetts, and the ferry at East 35th Street in Manhattan. The trip's about 4.5 hours, but quicker ferries such as Martha's Vineyard Fast Ferry are also available. This hunting cabin was the only building that originally rested on the property prior to Jackie's purchase of the land in 1979. True to her instinct to remain historically relevant, she was sure to design the mansion and its many add-ons in such a way that it remains similar stylistically to the cabin. The cabin overlooks one of the 2 ponds on site. In addition, the property contains gardens, a library, and various biking and hiking trails. In addition to her passion for preservation, Jackie also had a knack for creating something spectacularly new. Not only did she do this in the form of several extravagant living spaces on the property, but she also added a small and charming touch to the farmland. Jackie had a gazebo-style treehouse sturdily built for her grandchildren. As pictured above, the structure overlooks lush green land and deep blue water beyond. Named a fairy treehouse for its design, the piece adds a personal touch to the mansion. Martha's Vineyard is an island that consists of 6 towns, each with their own board and town meetings. The Red Gate Farm pictured here is part of the Aquina town, which is home to the Wampanoag Native American tribe. The calm and quiet land was perfect for Jackie, who avoided the public eye more frequently after the death of John F. Kennedy. She was only 31 years old when he'd been elected, making her the 3rd youngest first lady to date. The greenhouse can be seen in this photograph to the left of the primary living space, behind the bright turquoise pool. The 2-story addition has 4 bedrooms, which would bring the estate's room count to 9. But it doesn't end there. A 3-bedroom caretaker's house and a 2-bedroom guest apartment are also on the property, bringing the grand total to 14 bedrooms, spanning 4 separate units total. It makes sense that Jackie only wanted 5 bedrooms in the main home, considering she had plans for so many additional spaces. On top of all the various living spaces, there's also a hunting cabin, barn, boathouse, 2 garages, a storage building, and an exercise studio. One of Jackie's pastimes was riding horses, which tragically contributed to her death in 1994. She was participating in a fox hunt in Virginia when she was thrown off her horse in November of 1993. Upon examination, the doctor discovered a swollen lymph node in her groin. Her health continued to decline, and in January of 1994, she began chemotherapy for non-Hodgkin lymphoma. She died in her sleep that May. A lighthouse at the top of the property's steep shoreline adds to the maritime feel of the place. The area juxtaposes the urban setting that dominated Jackie's young adulthood. After college, Jackie won a junior editorship at Vogue. She quit after one day following the editor's critique of her single status at 22 years old. According to her biography by Barbara Leeming, Jackie was considered too old to be single by her high-class social circles. It makes sense why she was introduced to John F. Kennedy the following year and engaged to him shortly thereafter. Many writers have secluded homes in nature that they can retreat to in order to have peace of mind. Jackie received her college degree in French literature and spent her later years editing books. Martha's Vineyard would have been an ideal place to get work done near the water, as it was for many writers. Authors including Shel Silverstein, David McCullough, Judy Blume, and Dorothy West all have lived on the island. Many other celebrities have visited out of a need to get away and out of the limelight. An aerial view exposes the gorgeous land on the property. A pool, tennis court, vegetable garden, and blueberry patch are included with the farmland. The estate also has over a mile of Atlantic Ocean beachfront. The landscapes were designed by Jackie's friend Rachel, known as Bunny Mellon. Bunny had redesigned the Rose Garden at the White House and is a renowned horticulturist and landscape designer. The surrounding nature looks so impressive that it's hard to remember the placement of those trees were planned. The home boasts panoramic views of both the ocean and extensive farmland. Coastal views permeate most of the rooms, while over a mile of private beachfront offers a secluded escape to the water. Jackie notably wanted to attend college near New York City, but her parents preferred that she go to school that was more isolated. This may help to explain Jackie's appreciation of expansive landscapes and ample privacy. After all, she did build a separate building for her guests and caretakers. For those who don't prefer traveling by water, you also have the option to travel by plane. Martha's Vineyard has its very own airport that flies year-round from Boston and other areas, and seasonally from New York. Once on the island, Martha's Vineyard Transit Authority provides a bus service year-round. The place has been a hotspot for tourists since the summer weather isn't just beautiful, but also tends to remain in the low 80 degrees Fahrenheit. The year-round population is only around 17,000 according to the Martha's Vineyard website, but jumps to as many as 200,000 in the summer. Martha's Vineyard was used by various United States Armed Forces in the 1940s for training and practices. It's also the island where Jackie's former relative through marriage, Ted Kennedy, crashed a car that fatally injured Mary Jo Kopechne, a staff member on the Robert Kennedy campaign. Perhaps the island's most popular piece of trivia, the movie Jaws was filmed at Martha's Vineyard. In 2005, a week-long festival celebrated the 30th anniversary of the movie. Jackie maintained the home until her death in 1994. Unfortunately, just 5 years after she passed, her son, John F. Kennedy Jr., and his wife, Carolyn Bessette, and his sister-in-law, Lauren Bessette, died in a plane crash while John flew the aircraft to Martha's Vineyard. The incident follows suit with the Kennedy curse, a popularized term describing the string of calamities that seemed characteristic of the Kennedy family. As unfortunate as her circumstances may have been, Jackie still has been featured 27 times in the Gallup list of the 10 most admired people of the latter half of the 1900s. Jackie's first project as First Lady was to incorporate more historical elements into the White House's interior design. The reason for the lack of past furnishings was a presidential tradition, where presidents and their families could take items from the White House when they left office. To end this tradition, Jackie implemented a bill stating that White House furnishings would be the property of the Smithsonian Institution, and founded the Committee for the Preservation of the White House. Her love of traditional colonial-style spaces explains why she enjoyed this Cape Cod-style home, which has been preserved for 4 decades. Jackie was born in Southampton, New York, but spent much of her time on the Hammersmith Farm in Long Island. She was a competitive horse rider who loved to read and learn languages. Considering her upbringing and hobbies, it makes sense that she found solace in this East Coast island in the final decades of her life. The island itself was originally named by its native people, Nope, meaning land between the streams. In 1602, its name was changed to Martha's Vineyard after a British sailor's daughter, Martha, and the viney undergrowth near its coastline. Ironically, there are no wine vineyards on the island. The total land area of Martha's Vineyard is only about 96 square miles. Nearly 125 miles trace the island shoreline. From this aerial view, you can see the impressive estate nestled into the lush greenery.